Hey there, kia ora, and welcome to this week's episode of Campaign Kōrero. A little bit later in the episode, I'm going to sit down and have a chat to Alma de Anda. She is the Green Party candidate for Selwyn, which is the fastest growing region in the country. So being a candidate there has a whole bunch of really fascinating challenges. So we'll have a chat to her about Kiwipower, which I'll go into shortly. It's the newly announced Green Party policy around energy production. So we'll do a bit of a deep dive onto that. Before then, though, we're going to take a look over some of the headlines that this week have shaped the election campaign. And a quick reminder, if you're debating whether or not to join the general roll or the Māori roll, you've got until midnight on August 6th to make that decision. So really good time to start considering doing that, especially with some of the news that's come out this week around iwi council relationships and the government cancelling those. That may influence your decision on which particular role you want to be on if you have that choice to change. Before we do all of that though, please feel free to go and visit our website at election2026.co.nz. There's a whole range of tools there to help you with your decision making process, including some that will show you how polls are tracking. There's some tools there around policies and picking policies that you like, or picking viewpoints that you agree with that will help you decide which political party is more up your alley. So completely free to use, election2026.co.nz. Now let's head over and check out which headlines have been making waves this week. Driven primarily by issues caused by the Iran war, impact on fuel costs, power and kai prices, and exacerbated by government spending that included borrowing to cover tax cuts and operational costs, inflation for the previous quarter hit a two-year high of 4.1% as announced on Tuesday. Research shared by the Reserve Bank's chief economist, Paul Conway, shows New Zealand businesses are quicker to raise their prices during periods of high inflation and slower to cut them when costs fall when compared to our international trading partners, leading to longer periods of increased cost pressures on households and consumers. And because National claimed COVID-era inflation must be Labour's fault, it only stands to reason that Nicola Willis will soon take responsibility for this rate. The coalition also removed the Reserve Bank's dual mandate that included control of unemployment to control interest rates, meaning the latest inflation rate, which informs the Reserve Bank setting of interest rates, may lead to more people losing their jobs in a time when the country has currently got the highest number of unemployed people that they have ever had on record. The Green Party this week unveiled its energy policy with a promise to put power back in the hands of Kiwis. The plan includes a new publicly owned entity called Kiwipower to ensure affordable power and energy security, zero-interest clean energy loans to install solar and batteries, a renter's right to solar, legalising plug-in solar power, expanding warmer Kiwi homes to cover more upgrades, $200 million for community-owned renewable energy options, and solar on more than half of all public homes within 4 years, with $80 million being set aside specifically for Māori housing initiatives. Labour this week promised to, once elected, roll back changes made by the coalition that they made against the advice of lawyers and the Human Rights Commission, which makes voting materially harder during this election. These changes include removing same-day enrolment for the entire early voting period, removing voting rights for prisoners serving less than 3 years, and rules around free food and drink at polling stations. These changes are, according to the Electoral Commission, estimated to impact nearly 500,000 Kiwis' ability to vote. The National Party has announced proposed law changes regarding consent in a legal sense to something more explicit instead of relying on an implied consent. However, the legal framework is already waiting for National to support, which they refused to do so they could campaign on it instead. A cross-party working group had already written up the law, and it was pulled from the biscuit tin, with National refusing to agree to it so that they could tell voters that they would only change the consent laws if they gave consent to it and voted for National. New Zealand First Leader Winston Peters may deny it, but based on the reactions from attendees, according to media reports who were there, they kept their loudest cheers for his conspiracy-fueled policies, so they are now officially a party of conspiracy pushers. Included in their full candidate list are a number of Voices for Freedom-linked local elected members like Vince Kōrero, Tracy Coxhead and Elizabeth Munt, while attendees were caught talking about and photographed with books about rolling out the conservative US think tank America First Institute policy plan while in Auckland Airport after the event, which included slurring, sad dancing girls and unprecedented levels of jingoism. In their latest attack on Māori, the National Party has announced coalition changes to the RMA will actively remove iwi council agreements known as mana whakahono ā-rohe agreements. A stance promoted by AstroTurf and lobby groups Federated Farmers, the taxpayers' quote-unquote union, and broadcaster Mike Hosking. The agreements are seen by many as elements of treaty settlements and an already increased stripping of Māori land rights and treaty settlement outcomes by the coalition that consistently denies it has an anti-Māori agenda, and it did actually maintain that they were going to keep these agreements before they changed their mind. This change, announced late Monday evening by the Prime Minister, is seen by Labour leader Chris Hipkins, treaty lawyers, Indigenous rights experts and climate change experts as another potential breach of Te Tiriti and may lead to more litigation around settlements. Stats New Zealand data released this week show a decrease in spending of 1.2% on May, which some experts are saying is a sign that the economy is not in fact turning around as suggested by the Finance Minister. The primary driver for this downturn has been global uncertainty due to the ongoing issues in Iran. However, increased grocery costs did lead to an increase in spending in groceries, and hospitality spending was down by about $55 million. ACT's surprising new distraction of a candidate, Paul Henry, whose candidacy was rushed through and announced as former ACT Party President Tim Jago pleaded guilty to another forced sex act on a minor, faced Jack Tame on Q&A this weekend in an interview being widely regarded as an absolute train wreck. In it, while preaching about quote-unquote better times and wanting his grandkids to grow up in the New Zealand he did, he couldn't answer questions like how much the highest tax rate was at the time or university costs at the time, and used what has been described by some commentators as boomer logic to explain away real concerns that the public have going into the election. New Zealand First has pledged to waste $1 billion to confirm what 25 years of experts have been telling them about the supply of oil and gas in the region, selling the plan as a step towards energy resilience that experts state won't be in place, even if it was successful, until Winston Peters' 105th birthday. The party claims that they want to invest the money to see how much is available in local reserves of oil and gas, selling the idea that this would mean energy resilience for a nation. But geologists have said this idea simply ignores the fact that no new reserves have been found in the country since 2000, despite extensive exploration by commercial interests. This did not receive the support expected, as the crowds were too busy cheering at the idea of holding a third COVID inquiry and removing fluoride from water, according to reports from media present. And that's our quick rundown for this week's election. And let's jump over now and have a quick chat to Alma and learn a little bit more about Kiwipower. Joining me now, I've got Alma de Anda, the Green Party candidate for the Selwyn electorate this year. Kia ora, Alma. How are you doing? How is Selwyn?
Kia ora. I'm great. Thank you for having me. Selwyn's great. Thanks. Yeah, it's there's lots going on, a lot of the amalgamation stuff, a lot of growth, and a lot of decisions to be made. So yeah, busy times.
Selwyn, speaking of growth, Selwyn is the fastest growing region in the country. That offers some unique challenges in terms of infrastructure, in terms of how everybody works, how people make money, how the economy grows. Are those challenges that people are bringing to you as a candidate, going, what do the Greens have to offer here?
Oh, yes. I mean, definitely. As we've seen, even the mayor has said, there's all these fast track approvals that are happening, and they're all seen through a single lens, but there's a cumulative effect there. So it's definitely impacting water quality. We already know that nitrates are high, especially high in rural areas. Selwyn does have a lot of rural areas, and so, but even in Rolleston City, nitrate levels are affected as well. So there is a lot of opportunity that the people see with the Greens, because we actually do care about water quality, we care about the environment, we care about people living without having to fear their water. So yeah, lots of
Um,
issues.
it does sound, and Selwyn is one of the few areas where they've decided not to amalgamate their water services. The other places that have joined up after the whole local water done well. Is it $9 billion more than Three Waters to do exactly the same thing without iwi representation? So I imagine water is one of those things that they're quite big on. One of the other things that I know from dealing with Selwyn in the past is that you've got large areas of flat land that some people were really concerned about being taken up by solar panels. And it kind of ties into yesterday's announcement about Kiwipower.
Yes.
Could you give us a rundown on what Kiwipower is?
Yeah. Yeah, great. Yeah, so our co-leaders yesterday made an announcement about Kiwipower. So one of the biggest issues with providing renewable energy is that, we need a backup, right? We need a backup source of power. And that's usually been gas and New Zealand's running out of gas. And so it creates this high cost to the consumer, which is us, because slowly over different administrations, we have, or different governments, sorry, um, they've privatized our energy companies. So we are now beholden to shareholders' profits. So Kiwipower is about building sort of like I guess, a big battery, if you want to use this analogy, a big battery, uh, so that we can provide continuous energy, and it'll be publicly owned. So we're not going to be at the mercy of shareholders. So yeah, in a broad sense, we can get technical, but I don't think anybody wants to hear that.
Technical is not a bad thing, though.
It's not.
When we've got National putting out their solar plan and Labor putting out their solar plan, and now this plan coming out, and every announcement seems to be, let's do more. National had theirs, and Labor's like, well, let's do more. And now the Greens have come out
Yeah.
going, well, let's go even bigger. What
Yeah.
differentiates your plan from the other two so far?
Well, it's publicly owned, first of all, and because we, you know, we own this power. We should own our power. We have to be reliant on ourselves. As you know, I don't know if you've seen fuel prices and political dramas across the ditch and everywhere. Uh, and so it's really important to have that energy sovereignty for times of crises. So yeah, so one is publicly owned. Two, we've had this idea for decades. So I don't know if you saw Chloe and Marama uh, come out with the Green Party charter, and it was there. We've had these ideas, and so what's different now is that there's a lot more uh, potential, or there's a lot more, how would I say it, like there's this collective, like, oh yes, this is actually a good idea, instead of just some hippy dippy dream.
So we've got at the moment, our current system is built around gentailers who do the sale and the production and sale basically of power supply. How does having something like Kiwipower fit into the current model that we've got, or change the current model that we've got?
Right. Okay. So the gentailers that we have right now are mostly, the majority are private companies, right? So what we're doing is, we decided as a party, it's too expensive to buy them all up. It would just be, it's not worth it. So the way Kiwipower is going to help is that we are sort of that backup battery that allows gentailers to use this more reliable, consistent source of energy, but also it will help sort of independent other sorts of competition to enter, because they're not going to be just at the mercy of these four companies that exist right now. So it's introducing certainty into big projects, like renewable projects, because when there's not enough wind or it's dry air, uh, the backup that they're using right now is gas. And we want that to be batteries. We want that to be biomass, geothermal, things that are already here. And so, yeah, so it's going to allow more competition. It'll lower prices, because now we're not going to be at the mercy of when natural energy is low, that now the companies are going to charge us, very high rates. So does that
Uh,
make sense?
yes. Yeah, I think so. It's basically giving us another source of energy that gentailers can access, and other outlets, if they want to
Yes.
pop up, can access as well, knowing that it
Yes.
comes from an environmentally renewable source as opposed to bringing in LNG. One of the things I had pop up on my feed yesterday was an ACT Party candidate for the Upper Harbour claiming that wind and solar power don't make sense for a dry year because there's less wind and less sun. Um, which doesn't
Well,
make sense in my head. I'm wondering if you might be able to explain how idiotic that actually is.
yes, it is quite there. It's not that there's like less wind, less sun. I mean, the sun's always there. And the wind is something that exists. It's not a belief system. Um, so this is natural variation of the environment. Okay, it's idiotic to say that renewable energy wouldn't work, because sometimes the sun might not show its face. I mean, give me a break. What is going
What
on?
batteries? What batteries are for? Yeah.
Yeah, it's to say that the sun is not out enough. Yeah, it's just odd. It's an odd thing to say, and it is just not grounded in reality.
Yeah, I mean, for me, a dry year implies more sun than
Yeah,
cloudy, rainy cover. It's
yeah.
just
I mean,
how it.
yeah.
To be fair, I did look up the NIWA data on this, and it does say very specifically dry years mean more sun, and depending on where you are in the country, more wind. So in the south, you tend to have more wind. In the north, you tend to have less wind. Things tend to be a
Yes.
little still, but you get
Yeah,
sun.
oh my gosh, we are in the South. We have so much wind. It is, yeah. I still don't to this day have a dryer because I just put the clothes out.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
almost always
and
wind.
yeah, and
We'll
with
be
wind, they
okay.
dry so fast. It's awesome. Tell me a little bit about the funding specifically then for solar on Maori housing and how that's supposed to work. Because I must admit, I did kind of miss a lot of those details. I saw a figure of around 80 million for Maori housing upgrades. Is that, are we looking at marae? Are we looking at other structures here? How is that going to fit into the big picture?
Yeah, yeah. So there's quite a large amount of different like where the panels will go and where all this will happen. Yeah, so Madai's absolutely. I mean, the Maori community are stewards of the environment, have always been that way, and so they're keen, they're on board, and we would never do anything without consulting with iwi and so yeah, so it'll be across Marae, it'll be across Kura, across schools, and so yeah, there's a wide variety of places. They also said not just not just Kura, but hospitals,
Mhm.
like public institutions should have all of these. Yeah, solar
Um,
panels.
is is there an aim then for things like social housing to have
Yes.
upgrades? Okay, well, that was
Yes,
easy.
social housing. Yeah, so when we brought in Kiwi warmer homes, I
Mhm.
forget the name now. It's gone out straight out of my head. What is the name? Kiwi
Healthy
warmer
homes.
homes. Yes, healthy homes, warmer
Yeah.
homes. Uh, that's been a huge success. I mean, warming people's houses through insulation and, in a proper heat pump, you know, who knew that would be popular? But who knew people would like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
So we're going to expand on that. And so we're going to put sort of all of these renewables on public housing. So Kaingaora, about half of the homes that would, where it makes sense to do it. Um, and yeah, it's just, people don't, I think unless you're close to being unhoused or you can't afford to heat your entire home, you don't realize how important these things are for your health, for your mental well-being. And so, yeah, we're looking to put that into all of the healthy homes, sort of warm Kiwi home programs that already exist.
So the big question that always comes with this from the right is how do you pay for it?
Yeah. I mean, they never ask that question when they, you
No,
know,
it's usually
have
comments that they stick up on Twitter afterwards going, oh my God, this is a popular idea. How are they going to pay for it? Popular
yeah.
things shouldn't cost money.
Well, I mean, they're gonna love our tax policy because it
I
is
was,
to
to, to be fair, I was really impressed to see Paul Henry promote the tax policy when he's like, rich people should build hospitals. That sounds
oh
like a Green Party tax policy to me.
yeah, it is. I mean, they want to put their name on the hospital though. That's the
Ah,
thing. Like
can we
make
just
it
give them like a public park? Like if you have a subdivision, I don't know if they still have it actually. You used to have like a little plot that you put aside as a reserve.
yeah,
Stick their name on that. That's your prize for being a millionaire.
Here you go. You get to have a little sticker.
Yeah.
Well done.
Well done, you. You won at capitalism.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So the way that the Greens will pay for this, and it's been fully costed, so it isn't just Marama and Chloe and us all like, well, this sounds good. This has been fully costed. We listen to experts, unlike this current government. We don't just rely on vibes and what I think is best. So it's been costed. So it's just taxed the super rich. So again, assets over $10 million, minus the family home, then yes, you're going to be taxed at 2.5%, and you're still going to be super rich afterwards. And the same with corporations. So corporations, we're going to raise the tax rate to 33%. Not for small businesses, not for medium-sized businesses. So unless you're the likes of, Google, Microsoft, then unless that's nothing's going to change. But we are going to tax corporations more, which is fair.
Yeah. They should pay their fair share instead of taking the money offshore.
Yeah, I mean, they've done that. They've done enough of that. Let's try something else.
Exactly. So where can people find more information about this policy announcement?
You can find more information on the Greens website. So I'm sure you can link it here as well.
Yeah.
The Greens, we're on all the socials, but yeah, go to our website. If you know of anything about the Greens, is that we always have a lot of information. There's lots to read. And so there's already a PDF there about Kiwipower and, the problem, why we're doing this, and how we're going to fund it. So, yeah. So if you don't want my long-winded answers,
go get long-winded answers in writing instead.
That's right.
Yeah. So where can people find out more about you and your campaign?
Yes, thank you. So if you go to the Greens website and you look up candidates, I'm there. I'm on all the socials as well, Alma for Selwyn. And we're going to be you're probably going to see or hear from me very soon. So tonight, actually, we have a phone banking phone call. So I'll be asking you to party vote green. We're going to do door knocking in Selwyn this Sunday. So if anyone's keen, I'll give you the information if people want to link up with me. It's not scary. It is. It feels a little bit scary at first, but by the second house, you're like, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah, it's just getting out meeting your neighbors.
It really is, and people are lovely, And if they don't want to talk to you, they say, "I don't want to talk to you." They're like, "Okay, thanks." So yeah, it's great. It's really fun, and we're gonna have some catch up soon. Volunteer. So yeah, it's, we don't have big donors. We don't have toy companies giving out lots of money. So we are seriously volunteer run. We'd welcome some donations, but maybe not from some people.
That's fair. That is very fair. Thank you so much, Alma, for coming on. I really appreciate it. Learned so much. And we'll get a few people out and see if we can boost the campaign a bit for you.
Yes, thank you so much. It's been such a great time being on here. Thank you for the chance to talk.
My pleasure. Thank you. Hey, thanks for sticking around till the end of the video. While you're here, why not hit that like button or share the video or even subscribe to the channel. You could even become a paid YouTube member so you can see things released in advance, you get access to some exclusive content, and like all these awesome people, you get to have your name at the end of the credits as well.